Okay, here's that other Desert Eagle I was working on that has the John Wick kind of muzzle, is what this was referred to, something along those lines with John Wick. And this will attach actually to the bottom, to the rail that's on the battery door. So that should work properly. So I painted it. It's actually a candy orange paint, but I put it on pretty thick just because I wanted everything to cover, and it almost looks red, which is fine. And then I had started painting that color, but because this, 3D printed uses a different type of plastic, it just wasn't taking the paint the same. So it wasn't going to match. So I didn't like that. And I'd previously painted the plastic, the 3D printed plastic with this color before, and I knew it would turn out okay. So that's why I went with this. So putting these back together is fairly easy if you've kept your wires connected, which you would. Really all you got to do is plug this, end on, and then you're just going to kind of line these back up. Oh, I had a piece of tape here from, I'm not even sure why. But, so you just line those holes back up. You should be put back on. And you kind of make sure these line up with where they're supposed to go, and they do. You just push everything back in place. And you're just going to go ahead and run this up over here. The little power switch is going to go down here, and it does come with, usually you have this piece on there too, which just covers the power piece, the power switch. So get that in there, kind of snake things around. And you'll find at times you have to, get a little creative. Like I think we should tuck this wire actually down kind of underneath here, so it's out of the way a little more, because the trigger switch is going to have to get in there. All right. So we've got all those in the right place. Move that over slightly there. And then this switch is just going to go up like this. And that electrical tape was just on there to keep things out of the way. It's not really doing anything other than that. Just keep the wires kind of somewhat contained. So putting it back together, pretty easy. Last thing would just be the trigger. Got that one small spring, and that lines up with that right there. So you can see, just goes right in there. There you go. That's on there. This piece you just kind of set here. It's easier once we get things on. So once we get this in place, we'll go ahead. Really, you just kind of want to line this up with that switch. Make sure no wires are sticking out. Maybe you wiggle it a little bit sometimes. Okay. Yep, and it's good to always kind of peek under here and see what's going on, because it was trying to push that wire down into that hole, which wouldn't have been good. Tuck that wire back in there. Sometimes you just need to go ahead and push it in. There we go. So you're just going to tuck everything back in together, and then connect here. This is going to go here. This piece goes here. Screw everything together. It's easier than it looks. I'm struggling more than usual. So I'm going to pause now, get all those screws in, and then I'll show you what it looks like.